All right, let's talk about something that sounds, well, pretty serious, because it is mainline rotting. It's one of those things you hope you never have to deal with, but if you do, you really need to know what's happening. So we're going to decode it, what it is, why it's so important, and how it all works.
So let's jump right in. Your house, it has its own language. It makes noises, it acts up, and believe it or not, it's trying to tell you things. The real question is, are you listening? Especially when it comes to your plumbing.
Okay, you know that sinking feeling, right? You flush a toilet and suddenly you see water bubbling up in the shower drain next to it. Or maybe you've noticed that it's not just one sink that's slow. It's the kitchen sink and the bathroom sink and the tub. It feels like the whole house is clogged. Throw in some weird gurgling sounds from the walls or that unmistakable sewage smell. Yeah, your house isn't just whispering, it's screaming that something is seriously wrong. And here's the thing you've got to understand. All those signs, they're clues. They aren't a bunch of separate problems you can just fix one by one with a plunger. Nope, they're all pointing to one single central issue. And that culprit? It's a major blockage deep down in your main sewer line. That's the source of all the chaos. So before we even talk about the fix, let's quickly get on the same page about what the main line actually is.
To put it simply, the main line is the big one. It's the single underground highway that all the smaller pipes in your house feed into. Every single drop of water from your sinks, your toilets, your showers, it all ends up in this one critical pipe on its way out of your house.
Honestly, the best way to picture it is to think of it like the main artery in a body. You get a little clog in a tiny capillary, it's a local problem. But if you get a major clog in that main artery, whoa, the entire system is in trouble. It's the exact same idea with your plumbing. So if your main artery is blocked, you're not going to grab some over-the-counter remedy, right? Of course not. You call in a specialist for a serious procedure. And for your home's plumbing, that specialist treatment is mainline rotting. It is the targeted, heavy-duty solution for this very specific problem. Now, we are talking about something way, way beyond that little drain snape you might have under your sink. Mainline rotting uses a powerful engine-driven cable. It's long, it's flexible, and it has specialized cutting heads on the end. It's literally designed to go deep into that main pipe and just physically demolish whatever's blocking it, whether that's years of grease buildup or even, and this is a big one, invasive tree roots that have broken into the pipe. So what does this actually look like when it happens? You know, it might sound pretty intense, but in the hands of a professional, it's actually a very methodical, step-by-step process. It really boils down to 4 key steps. First, the plumber's got to find the cleanout. Think of it like a secret access port to your main sewer line, usually a capped pipe somewhere in the basement or out in the yard. Second, they feed that heavy-duty cable right into the pipe. Third, they fire up the machine. That cable starts spinning with a ton of torque, and the cutting head at the end just obliterates the blockage. And finally, and this part is absolutely critical, they'll run a bunch of water to make sure everything is flowing perfectly smooth again. Okay, so the clog is gone, your drains are working, fantastic. But what now? And I bet you're probably wondering, hey, couldn't I have just poured one of those bottles of chemical cleaner down the drain? Let's get right into that. Look, it really comes down to using the right tool for the job. Those chemical drain cleaners, they might work for a little bit of hair in your shower drain, but for a massive, deep blockage in your main line, they just don't stand a chance. And even worse, those super harsh chemicals can sit in your pipes and actually eat away at them over time. Rotting, on the other hand, is a physical solution. It doesn't rely on chemicals, it physically removes the problem right at the source, and when a pro does it, it's perfectly safe for your pipes. The end result of a good rotting job is normalcy. Water just flows away. It's quiet, it's fast, it's exactly how it's supposed to be. Now, let's be real about the cost. It can definitely vary. A really tough blockage or one that's hard to get to is going to take more work to clear. But what you're paying for is a definitive fix to a problem that was affecting your entire home. And really, that's the big takeaway here. That whole hidden network of pipes running through your walls and under your floor, that's your home's lifeline. It works silently, day in and day out, and then it starts sending out those gurgles and slow drains, those little distress signals. It's asking for help. So the real question is, are you listening?